Mr. Speaker, Mr. President Speaker, and fellow colleagues, I'll be ready to vote if my fellow colleague, considering the fact that there are two districts of Ofo, the two biggest districts of Ofo, if we can accept this simple amendment that item A be brought to item H and the rest of the order remain as it is, considering the importance of those communications. My unreadiness item A, communication from Honorable Councillor J. Funaki Kufa be brought to item H. And the rest of the order released.
Having listened to the chair of public works, my own leather brother, issues of labor.
The movement. Please approach the chair.
So having went from the fountain of the joint legislature, we want to officially reject the
Information.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Information, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker,
Of course, information for the proceedings. There's a legislative practice.
now you put that here with me again. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my information is for the proceeding of the movement. There's no way we can accept an unreadiness, except an unreadiness and the record carried. In no time, there's no modification of that motion, and he rejected it. So, my information here, either the movement restate the motion, or the mayor who the distinguished colleague from Dima.
Information accepted. We restate the motion.
You already there.
So as a justification so that the essence of rejecting the motion was that the statement was not clear. So that's the motion and then we reject it.
Restate your readiness.
Yes.
Are you all ready? I'm all detailed.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, to the movement, I'll be ready to vote
were you to, it's a movement. It's a movement. It's a movement. I will be ready to vote were you to divert your second amendment requesting the plenary to move to the chamber in the Capitol building. I'll be ready to vote were you to divert that will be removed from your readiness due to the fact that chambers haven't been made available yet to this house, and considering the fact that there's some work that has to be done there. I'll be ready to
So that is actually a communication that is sponsored before plenary for discussion.
It's not on the agenda.
So reject.
It's not on the agenda.
Already amended.
Already.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the movement. I will be ready to vote if you can move the appearances of our guests to B, no, to T, and T be brought to where the appearances are. That's wrong. I will also be ready to vote if you can accept the report from the Committee on Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries to be added so that the chief can read of the
So with the agenda was in 2 parts. The first one is the adjustment of the appearances to D, with that I accept. But the second part that has to do with the report from your committee, it will be different. So we actually
Are you all ready to vote? Already? Oh, that's not clear.
Honorable Speaker, for the movement, I will be ready to vote if this simple amendment will be accepted. F and B to remove all grounds that the Minister of Public Works already written to say in the country. Then you have it this year. So remove F and G to remove.
has written us that we will not be appearing today on the basis of that we said.
Are you all ready to vote on the amendment made to the agenda? All those in favor say yea. Against? Abstain? The yea carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, call for petition.
There are no petitions.
Call for standing committee's report.
There are no standing committees reports.
Call for special committee's report.
There are no special committees reports.
Call for motions, bills, and resolutions.
No motions, bills, or resolutions.
This is the speaker's desk.
Yes, sir. Madam Mildred Enfield.
Our colleagues, we get to please. Should get to continue.
Mildred Enfield, Chief Black House of Representatives, Capitol Hill, and Mildred Liberia.
Inquiries.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I want to start out from the chief clerk. I hear her asking for state community report. Now there's a report from a guest came from the community on agricultural history and agriculture. No, it doesn't have to be.
Information denied. Let the chief get respond, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as per the inquiry made by my honorable member of Lawmakers County, Honorable Williams, the report did not reach my office up to this time, and so it was not on the agenda. The motion to include it on the agenda today was rejected by the movement. That's why I said there's no community report. January 20, 2025, to defer the committee's report regarding this matter to Tuesday, February 4, 2025. If this is the case, then your letter proposing to obtain instruction from the plenary is an unlawful usurpation of the functions and authority of the people's elected representatives. 2. Please inform those who instructed you to write such a letter that they should obtain the office in the same manner as they obtained the speakership, illegally and with the force of the executive. I believe, according to the so-called committee report, the Minister of Justice, Councillor Oswald Puer, whose interpretation of the news brought us to this point, has already outlined the pathway to complete his illegal act. I will not respond to anyone further on this case. Sincerely, J. Funati Kopa, Councillor Ashore. Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was the reading of the response to the letter done to Honorable J. Funati Kopa.
After listening to the reading communication from our colleague, Honorable J. Funati Kopa, what is the way of pleasure? What do you tell us? Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and distinguished colleagues, having listened to the communication read by the Chief Clerk, written by the former Speaker, Honorable J. Konati Kopa, I will, in consideration of the fact that Honorable Kopa has already indicated in his communication that he won't respond to any other communication coming out of this House, and due to the fact that several communications have already been written, I will move, if I can obtain, that the office of the Speaker be turned over to current Speaker, and that the Chair on Rules and Order be accompanied by the Sergeant of Arms and with the media officers from this House, that the office is open and belongings to the former Speaker be taken, that stocks be taken in the current office.
That motion, man. That motion. That motion.
That the stock is taken, that stock is taken, that stock is taken by the Chair on Rules and Order in the presence of the media, and the office is finally turned over to the current Speaker. I so move. Thank you. With the motion made and this seconded, are you going to write a post?
I'll be ready to vote if this amendment can be accepted. That due to the nature of the response from the distinguished colleague of Rankin County, challenging the authority of China, a response indicating disrespect to the upper body, that he cannot respond to any other communication. A response also bears false information that the speakership was illegally taken with him, knowing the fact that he's a lawyer and providing false information to the public. Mr. Speaker, I'll be ready to vote. If this communication can be open, that members of this floor make collective input before a decision can be made.
To our respected honorable of from my counsel, having listened to your readiness, I will reject. With the amendment made, are you honorable? Already, I believe that this communication, the one thing from the justice minister you understand, we read it clearly. For the justice minister told us to write another letter to this to our colleague, and this information is coming from him. I don't want
I
believe that Lakers is that time we fought here. Lakers was experienced, and there was a lot of accusation. So for now, I want to say in a short manner that a lot of people our police, which also inform the justice minister who asked us, and which is a bad. I told all the rally again. Let me be aware of this particular letter that was written by police. And secondly, yes. I want that to be part of the movement. The movement also be present. The guys also be present. That's what we are all. The movement.
Well, now it's very sorry. Honorable distinguished representative of District Number 8, Lima County, in consideration of the fact that Honorable Cooper has already indicated in his communication and is not going to respond to any other communication emanating from this house, I humbly reject. To the movement of the relative to I said I'll be ready to vote if the movement will accept this appointment that the leadership sees of the matter and act accordingly to avoid again, the motion was clear that the chair will use the order to accompany by the signing of arms in the presence of the media that the office is open. So therefore, I will humbly reject the
The issue being discussed has to do with legality. I'll be ready to vote. Were you to accept that leadership seeks counsel from our legal department, further proceed to the court to receive an eviction order? The motion passed by our colleague asking for us to carry media people and hammer the bus the door will be proceeding wrongly. I will be ready to vote if you accept this logical amendment that will seek the counsel of our legal department, proceed to the court, Mr. President, for eviction notice. Just do things accordingly by the law, that's all. Which makes sense. Come here.
to the
I should read some motion. I should read some motion. Resign.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the movement. So the issue being discussed, Mr. Speaker, is a very sensitive issue. Officers and legislators are assigned not to individuals. They are assigned based on their position. In the instance case, the office being discussed is not the office of the individual, but the office of the Speaker of the legislature. Whoever ascends to that position takes seat of that office and manage it until you can leave. In our case, we want to advise that owing to the nature of what is obtaining, of course, we have the Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration that has direct oversight as it relates to offices, but because of the absence of the individual who occupy that office, it will be prudent enough because we cannot move government hospital. It will be prudent enough that we get a court order. So as to guide the opening of that government and the removal of personal effect in that office so that we can occupy
And the fact that it belongs to the portfolio, therefore, the speaker that sits currently descends to take his office. And from the communication already written, the speaker, the former speaker, is not going to respond again. So therefore, I humbly reject. Are you all right to vote? Are you all right to vote? How do you tell us here? And these, the voter is scared. What kind of reconsideration? I recognize for how cheap that next? Yeah, please approach the presiding. Please approach the presiding. Yeah, is not gonna. Yeah, is not gonna. Please proceed to the presiding. Accepted. I rather ask for the college. Next. Michael Thomas. And Karen Carr. Please approach the chair. Michael Thomas. And Karen Carr. Please approach the chair.
Next, please.
Honorable Richard number 2, Speaker of the 5th, House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia. Subject: Prayer the indulgence of Queen Mary to invite the Chairman of the National Executive Commission, Honorable Jeff B. Weber.
Honorable please, Elizabeth Garmancy. Honorable please, Honorable Timothy have a seat. Honorable General Soka. Honorable Nugget Dave. Honorable Colette. Honorable Alex Paul. Honorable Save Nana. Honorable Breeze, please go back to your seat. Honorable Breeze. Honorable MVP, quiet. Honorable Breeze. Continue. Proceed.
Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Raymond Pay, and the Minister of Justice to provide a status update on the Puto Iron Ore Mining Company investment. Honorable Speaker Kuhn, I extend my 1 year's greetings and right to bring to your attention the matter of urgent economic significance for the citizens of Liberia County. As you know, Russia Steel Giant Puto Iron Ore Mining Company signed a mining development agreement with the Republic of Liberia on September 2, 2010. The company's operation, which ceased in 2016, had a substantial positive impact on the socio-economic landscape of Liberia County, particularly in employment, human capacity development, and infrastructure enhancement. However, a cessation of Puto Iron Ore Company's operation has led to a severe economic downturn in Grand Many citizens previously employed by the company are now jobless, and the overall economic situation in the region has become increasingly dire. This predicament necessitates immediate intervention and comprehensive strategies to address our constituent financial challenges. In January 2016, during the session of the Liberian Senate, the former Minister of Lands, Mines and Energy, Mr. Patrick Sandolo, stated that Puto Iron Ore Mining Company had exited Liberia due to its inability to manage the mining process independently despite efforts to secure partners. For all practical purposes, Puto is basically out of Liberia, but technically the MTA is still valid, though Puto walked away from the agreement. Former Minister Sandolo noted. His declaration, quote-unquote, from all practical purposes, Puto is basically out of Liberia, emphasized the finality of the company's departure, notwithstanding the technical validity of the MDA. Given the critical nature of this issue, I crave the indulgence of plenary to invite the Chairman of the National Investment Concession, Honorable Jeff B. Ligo, Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Wilma Pay, and the Minister of Justice, Honorable Councilor N. Oswald to be cited to appear before this August body. This appearance is crucial. So, 1. The current status of the Putu iron ore mining deal, an overall view of the present state of the MDA, including any ongoing negotiation or potential new investment interested in taking over the operations. 2. Impact assessment, an evaluation of the economic impact of Putu's departure from Grand Chile County, particularly regarding employment and infrastructure. 3. Future plans, strategic plans and measures to attract new investors to Grand Chile County's mining sector and review the economic activities previously supported by Putu Iron Ore Mining Company. 4. Support for displaced workers. Initiatives and programs are in place to support and provide alternative employment opportunities for the workers who lost their jobs due to the concession of Putu's operation. The cessation of Putu's operations. 5. Infrastructure and community development. Updates on Putu Iron Ore Mining Company's commitment to infrastructure and community development projects and how these are addressed post-departure. This citation aims to create transparency and accountability in handling the aftermath of Putu Iron Ore Mining Company's exit and to seek immediate and sustainable solution for Grand Chile County's economic recovery. I trust that you will consider this request with the urgency it merits and facilitate the necessary proceedings to address this pressing issue. A prompt intervention of the plenary will provide clear guidance to the proper authorities. Thank you for your attention and swift action on this critical matter. Sincerely yours, Honorable Jeremiah Gao, Sokon Senior, Representative Electoral District 1, Grand Chile County. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of a communication from your Honorable colleague, Honorable Jeremiah Sokon, Grand Chile 1.
Okay, thank you. With the reading of the communication from our colleague, Honorable Jeremiah Sokon, what is your waiting pleasure? Honorable Dan.
Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of the communication from our distinguished colleague of District Number 1, Grand Chile County, craving the indulgence of plenary to invite these persons of interest to speak to the issue concerning Putu Iron Ore Mining Company and our investment in our country. I move with the anticipation that we seconded that our comrade be given 5 minutes to expand on the communication so we all be able to understand the intent, and then plenary can make a decision to invite these persons of interest on Tuesday. If I continue to send them.
Now he move and second that, and the move will give a few minutes to expand to me. Are you all ready to vote? I'm ready to take a comment. Deputy Speaker, Police, to the movement, are we ready? Are we ready to vote? Accept this amendment. After our brother has been given, the honorable man has been given the opportunity to expand on the issue.
the communication is sent to the relevant committee to handle it. Since the House of Representatives work through committee, they get it right and it will accept. That's it for me. Thank you.
So I listen to my
We're moving.
So I've listened to my colleague considering your awareness with license. It's difficult to tell you no, but considering the matter at hand, I constitute you with that.
To the proponent. To the proponent.
Our speaker, our deputy speaker, distinguished colleagues. Let me commend the distinguished members of this body for affording us the opportunity to provide additional information on this all elaborate and detailed communication. As the communication indicated, it is important to note today as the government moves towards revenue generation with the vision to increase revenue up to $1 billion plus. It is worrisome and a serious concern that an asset in the southeast, particularly Nigeria, that is a Putu iron ore is lying dormant for the last 15 to 16 years after it had been signed into law to the FDA. I want to clearly state that the company Silver Star, which is a giant steel company in Russia, today from all indications appear to be totally incapacitated. Reason being, this institution is crippled by sanction beginning from 2013 when Russia declared Crimea to Russia. The Western world inflated Russia and the company with sanctions. Compounding the issue, the border came in 2014, the company left this country. And that exacerbated by the COVID-19, and also worse matter, bad matter became worse when Ukraine and Russia war emerged. I tell you today that after 15 years of signing this NDA, the counties that beneficiaries have not gotten, nor the country generate any revenue, while the asset is laying there. I bring this communication forward today that the government of Liberia needs to take a decisive move, a move that will put an end to this NDA immediately, because this NDA is totally reported. All provision in the NDA, to the best of our knowledge, have been violated by the company, and the company is incapacitated. We should not wait another good day than a month or a year by depriving the citizens of Nigeria County and all Southeastern County as to the benefit of the development, keep depriving them of the immediate development while the asset is there. With that, I will look forward, and I plead with my colleagues to please agree with me that we invite the proper authority listed in the communication to appear next Tuesday to give reason and plans for how to reactivate the all important assets in this country
Lagunate for grandchildren in the southeastern country of the Republic of Liberia, why this asset is blind government. It's time for us to react to be to iron ore. It's time for the investment to come back to that region. It's time for us to create jobs. It's time for us to move on. It's time for us to focus on that particular area. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Deputy. Thank you so much. With the briefing given to plenary, are you all now ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against. So please do the necessary thing. Honorable Chief Clerk. Next.
Honorable Richard Namakorn, Speaker, House of Representatives, the 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Dear Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Transport was established on an act of the National Legislature of August 25, 1987, to formulate and administer all transport, insurance, and maritime regulations in Liberia. The government of Liberia entered an agreement with the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated through a concession on the 21st day of December 2018. Thus granting the LTMR the responsibility to perform the following services which do not interfere with the Ministry of Transport. The Ministry of Transport's core function as per the Act of 1987 as enshrined in the concession thereof. 1. Traffic ticket management system. 2. Vehicle towing and impound management system. 3. Safety parking system. 4. Vehicle inspection system. And 5. Driver testing and certification. Meanwhile, it will interest you to note, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and distinguished colleagues in section, that the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated of recent informed the general public that they were commencing the issuance of driver's license and vehicle registration, thus resolving the cardinal function of the Ministry of Transport, which has already been contracted to the Modern Development and Management Corporation (MDMC) through a competitive bidding process with the involvement of the management of PPCC. Therefore, and in lieu of the aforementioned, we crave the indulgence of plenary to sanction the appearance of the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Transport, the management of the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated, by and through its CEO, Mr. Mohammed Abu Dawish, the management of MDMC, and the Bureau of Concession to explain to the Liberian people the rights, duties, and functions of the parties to the concession, as it is perceived that the original copy of the concession agreement has been altered. Meanwhile, given the nature of the situation, I have no doubt that the communication will be given keen attention as we continue to serve our people as their deputies. Attached for ease reference is a copy of the provision of the concession agreement. Best regards, sincerely yours, Honorable Michael M. Thomas, Esquire, Representative Electoral District 4, Montserrat County, Chairman, Houses Committee on Elections and Commission, Co-Chair on Expenditure, Wisdom, Finance and Development Planning, and Chairman, PJ Legislative Conference. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Delegate, that was the reading of the communication from the Honorable colleague, Michael M. Thomas, of District 4, Montserrat County.
Thank you, Mr. Chief. Honorable colleague, with a communication from our honorable colleague, Michael Thomas, what is your willing pleasure? Honorable Samson, we are.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, having followed the reading of a self-explanatory communication well penned from the hands of Honorable Michael Thomas of District Number 4, Moserado County, I move, if I can be seconded, that this communication be open for 5 minutes discussion by the proponent, and that plenary endorse a specialized committee to probe in the investigation as recommended by the communication, if I can be seconded.
Now, we move a second and vote, let me give them 5 minutes and they will settle. Specialized committee. Are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea. Against? Abstain? The yea carries. The proponent.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues. We are thrilled with the situation concerning the Ministry of Transport and also a concessionaire. So the Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated was enacted through a concession in 2018, and they had corporate function under this concession, and their major responsibility aspect, that concession was tailored into 5 sectors. One has to do with the traffic ticket management system that they were supposed to have direct control and supervision over, and also the vehicle towing management system. We also have the city parking system that was supposed to do a layout of the city and manage the parking system so as to generate revenue to enhance our budget. The issue with vehicle inspection that was being done by the Liberia National Police was being ascribed to them, and also driver testing and certification. But it will interest you to note that a few weeks ago, the LMTI did an official publication in about 10 days, informing the public that they will resume the issuance of driver's license and also vehicle registration, which contravenes their concession agreement that was being signed. And it will also interest you to know that these 2 functions are the cardinal function of the Ministry of Transport that cannot be ascribed to any institution. That is the bedrock of the Ministry of Transport. So to have the traffic management, usurping the function of a parent ministry, thus renting the Ministry of Transport has been a toothless bulldog. It's a mirage, it's a challenge, and I think plenary needs to intervene. And additionally, Transport Ministry has already contracted the services of MTNC for the printing of license plates and issuance of driver's license. So with an existing contract with another institution, Liberian-owned institution, and that contract has gone through, there was a competitive bidding process with the PVCC, and the contract was awarded to MTNC, and they have been printing plates. I think you see the place with all flying, it was being done by MTNC. And for LMTI to come and say that their full responsibility as per their concession is wrong, is unacceptable, and we need to take siege of the matter. And we also believe to some extent that the concession agreement that was being signed between the government of Liberia and the LMTI, there was a great alteration in the document. So those have been attached, page 12 at the B has been attached, where the core function of transport ministry as per that provision, it was said clearly that the core function of transport cannot be ascribed to this concession agreement because this is one of the most generational capacity of the Ministry of Transport. So with that being said, Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, I want to rest and we'll come back in the future if there is need. Thank you so much.
With the brief given to us by the proponent, are you all ready to vote?
All right.
I'm ready. Honorable Johnson Williams.
Honourable Speaker, Honourable Deputy Speaker, colleagues, I'm ready to vote because a motion was proposed by the gentleman from Sino Country, Honourable Samson Lee, calls for the establishment, the referral of this communication to a specialized committee. And best to my knowledge, leaderships of the committees on transport was announced. Leadership of the committee on judiciary was announced. Leadership on the committee on investment was announced. And I think consistently, if we proceed in this manner, we will be undermining the work of committees. So I am ready to vote because I believe voting, I'll be sanctioning the usurpation of function of those committees. Hence, I want to pray the indulgence of my colleague to kindly revise his motion. This communication be referred to the Committee on Transport. It's a specialized investigative committee. It's a specialized investigative committee. So I'll be ready to vote. My colleague will allow for the modification of the motion to carry this communication be referred to the committees on transport, judiciary, and concession.
Please say thank you to Honorable Williams of River Chief County, a brother who are here so
Please allow the leader to respond.
but on this topic, I humbly reject.
Are you all right to vote? All those in favor say yes. Against? We now need the committee immediately. Omoga will be chair, co-chair, Omo secretary, Omo Bodo member, Omo Soka member, Omo Dosi member, Omo Wiyan member. The government will be a resource to that committee. Omo Obida Bani. Omo Obida Bani. So I need the committee again. The chair is Omo Ga, co-chair, Omo Seku Kane, member Omo Siabakoto, member Jeremiah Soka, member Obida Bani, member Mohammed Dosi, member Omo Samson Wia, resource member is the proponent of this communication. You know what I have now. Next, give like. Carried right, so please set the way for. Police are asking why the marriage to
No, the motion.
okay, so you come after the hearing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
So folks, if you just joining us, we'd like to say welcome. This is ELBC, LNTV, Liberia Live. We are broadcasting live from the Monroeville City Hall, where the House of Representatives and members of the House of Representatives 55th Legislature normally have their regular section since the fire incident. However, there have been a series of concerns here from individuals. There has been a series of concerns here from lawmakers from their respective districts. Let's see if we can bring you the agenda of today's So the agenda for today, we have section call to order, prayer, roll call, reading correction, amendment, and adoption of the agenda. We have call for petitions, call for standing committee reports, call for special committee reports, call for motions, billed, and resolution, business on speaker's desk, communication from Honorable Councillor J. Funasi Kofa, representatives, Lecturer District number 2, Grand Coup Council, in response to a communication translated to him by WhatsApp. So the communication therefore the former speaker, J. Funasi Kofa, was read here, and it was read in plenary, and they all listened and sent it to committee room. However, today, the appearance of the Minister of Health to address issues of fees being paid to patients and doctor being assigned as county health officer. Also in attendance, the Minister of Public Works to discuss his plan for the reconstruction of the main sector's river bridge at ITI. So that's the appearance today. Minister of Public Works and Minister of Health will be here today to address fee concerns from the Honorable House of Representatives 55th Legislature. So if you just joined us, we'd like to say welcome. We are broadcasting live on your platform. My name is Yasa Super, and I'm here bringing forth this live broadcast wherever you are. We now go back to the members of the House.
So, the representatives are here with the resource people. So let's proceed, please. Our second hand, please, put our witnesses.
Generator, where? Most of them guys, they get generator, come and check. As I speak to you, I'm like, very easy. I'm going to put that in my name. I'm sorry for it. The system that I'm going to use,
Hey, equally.
Honorable Speaker, so my inquiry is informed by raised by our colleague upon whose information I'll get the report. And I think we have a point. So the minute the whole meeting was left. I'm sure when you come into this kind of guidance, you get the people that are required. So the communication says the minister is different. So I think the important that we have to be placed.
Yeah. Our Chief, let me go ahead with the communication.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Judges, and distinguished colleagues, I present compliments and bring good patriotic greetings to the peace-loving people of the Liberia District 1 Grand County. Honorable colleagues, you can bear with me with this. Budgetary allotments were made in the 2024 national budget to support all public health facilities and referral hospitals across the 50 counties in Liberia. Regrettably, our people are faced with a situation where authorities of various public hospitals are demanding referred cases to buy fuel and pay for operation fees before they can be attended to. In the same vein, distinguished colleagues, it will interest you to know that specialized medical guidance in Liberia are being assigned as county health officers. Cases in point are Montserrado, Nema, and Grand Cape counties, as well as the current EPR director at the Ministry of Health. What happens when there are complex emergency cases that require the expertise of those specialized medical doctors? In view of the aforesaid, my highly esteemed colleagues, I reiterate the indulgence of this honorable body to invite the Minister of Health, Dr. Louis M. Cotto, and the Chief Medical Officer of Liberia, Dr. Captain Thomas Cobo, to come and address these grave national concerns. Kind regards, Honorable Isaac G. Bonnie, Representative Lawmakers District of Basel County.
Let's hear it.
Honorable Minister, Ministry of Health, Congo Town, Liberia.
Let's hear it.
Dear Honorable Minister, I present compliments and write out the record of the Honorable House of Representatives in section to invite your presence before this plenary on Tuesday, February 4, 2025 at 10 a.m. Honorable Minister, the call for your appearance is prompted by the attached communication to plenary by Honorable Isaac G. Bonnie, Representative Lawmakers District 1 Grand Basel County, craving the indulgence, querying for the attention of the House on the national budget support of various public hospitals in the 50 counties. According to his communication, patients are faced with cases of paying for fuel and operation fees before they can be attended to, contrary to allotments made available in the 2024 national budget, while specialized others are being displaced, such as heading county health payments. In view of the foregoing, the plenary of the House will have me inform you to come ready to address these issues raised so as finding remedy in physical. Yes, regards sincerely, C. Thomas J. Acting Chief. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, these are the readings of the communication that prompted the invite of our guests currently before us and the invite. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So we urge the second now to put our witness on oath. And then we allow the proponents a few minutes to open up the discussion. Observation.
Yeah, my observation is that our foreign communication carries the minister and chief medical officer.
That's previous.
They should be the only person
as it relates to the hearing, repeat the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Keep your hands up. Honorable Speaker,
To the minister, we are recent officer, we can input in the discussion.
So if we don't put it forward, no go.
Can we please get the minister?
That's the issue.
Please, ma'am.
The boy, we some people, you want information for them.
We are putting our own because to the next people in the discussion from the minister. So they are recent officers really on call as well.
Yes.
So please continue.
That's it.
Raise your right hand. Call your name on the station.
Please be quiet. Over here, come on. Over Johnson, where? Moses?
Through some of the swear. As it relates to the hearing, will be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Honorable Speaker,
Thank you so much. The proponent. The proponent. Number three. How do you find let the proponent come back to you? Number Isaac, Fanny, the floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues, this particular communication is based on my practical experience on the health background and administrator. As an administrator, when I said I administrator of the Liberian Government Hospital in 2015,
there was a specific case of a pregnant woman who came at a hospital. And the midwife at the hospital, they struggled to do the delivery, but it was not easy. Within the hour time, they informed me as an administrator that the case could not be managed by the hospital. So they needed to refer that particular case as DSK. While on their way, that particular pregnant woman died in the ambulance. So there was no way to respond to the hospital because there were no specialized doctors. In recent times, we have observed that there are several countries: Magiri, River G, Grand Cru, Grand Cameron, Maryland, Nima, Basel, and Masurado. All the countries that are mentioned, specialized doctors have been made a county health officer. And the Ministry of Health has a specific policy that specialized doctors should be at the hospital. And those doctors, they were trained by World Bank and the government of Liberia. And they have also, because of the result of the minister, you may see the result that maternal death have gone the increase. Like Magiri County, for 2024, they had 13, River G had 2, Grand Cru had 3, Grand Cameron had 9, Maryland had 5, Nima County had 29, Basel had 19. And beside that, there is a specific indicator, HMIS, Health Management Information System. And there are 51 community deaths, probably that delivered in the community that did not survive. And you know why it's happening? If you check the statistic, when a woman will get birth, when that particular woman dies, the survival of the babies is not easy. So we are lawmakers. We have decided to invite the minister. Why did we replace him for? Why is happening to our people? So I will take the microphone to Honorable Goswa for argument.
The only return to Goswa. The only return to our Goswa is the government decide and get the people. Let the people go to the witnesses.
Let me say thank you to Honorable Bani for affording us the opportunity to speak on this issue. While he has already laid the platform for the issue of maternal mortality at the Liberia Hospital and the issue of transfer of professionals from this facility and being transferred to county health officer, I also want to bring to the attention and probably the fact that the minister and the chief medical officers are here, probably to provide us with the understanding, because Mr. Presiding, we have noticed over the period of time, specifically last year, from records that are shown, the issue of infectious diseases have escalated. And it is solely because people that are using narcotic substances. My attention is drawn to those from the ghetto that, in every ghetto you have people that are doing injectables. They have the single-use syringe. But in these ghettos, they don't know anything about single-use. So you'll find thousands of persons using one kind of needle and syringe and will be injecting people in those places. We have a high rate in infectious diseases. Those are HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, all the kinds of hepatitis,
cholera, we are all unequipped. I brought this to the attention of plenary because if care isn't taken into presiding, if care isn't taken, we just might have a pandemic in Liberia. Even the health practitioners will not be able to handle. Already we are struggling as a governing country to address the issue of malaria and Lassa fever. And then we have the spike rise of infectious diseases spreading throughout the country. So since they are here, I would think that they provide us pieces of information so that we will know what is actually obtaining and how they can be curtailed to be able to present smooth lane for our people, both in and hinterland and in the city. Thank you for the opportunity to provide it.
Thank you so much. We now go to our witnesses. Honorable Minister, you will please take a stand.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable members of the House of Representatives, on behalf of my team and myself, I want to say thank you for inviting us to give clarity on some of the doubts that some of the members of this House of Representatives may have. The first representative said we had some concerns that specialist doctors were being assigned specifically around Serrano County and a few other counties that it named. Let me give a clarification of what a specialist doctor. Currently, let me just tell you first, there are 570 doctors in Liberia, of which 193 are specialized, and 66 currently in residency training. So when you say a specialist doctor, that doctor, it means that you have gotten additional training in specialized areas. I also want for you to know that all medical doctors in Liberia, all 570, once you are trained, you have the skills.
Order, Speaker. Point of order. Point of order.
Hold your point of order. Hold your point of order.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, our calling communication is very clear, including his expose. The minister should be responding to the issue raised by our colleague, and not to be lecturing us the different categories of who becomes a doctor, who doesn't become a doctor. I believe the issue, Honorable Speaker, the minister is out of order. The minister is out of order because she tried to lecture us, and we're not here to be lectured. When you become a specialized doctor, residential doctor, the issue she needs to respond to that. I have two persons who died in my county. Look at my colleague, look at the alarm. She has to clarify those people. She has to clarify that. And she shouldn't be lecturing us.
As I was speaking earlier, this 570 doctors in Liberia, they are all surgeons. That's how the medical system works. And that's the skills of the Liberian.
Please approach the presiding.
So, all doctors, we are all doctors. So certainly like CS as the first speaker spoke about the first honorable representative or any medical doctor can do that. General surgeon on your rapid. All 570 doctors that have license, they are trained to do that. When it comes to specialists means that you have more in-depth knowledge It means that you can monitor other doctors. It means that you can train other doctors. It also means that you have the skills to be able to foresee problems in the medical field. You made specific.
Can we wait a while? Let me wait till Our speaker, our deputy speaker, distinguished colleagues, my information is this. Our speaker, many of us have served in the executive rose to the rank of even ministers before coming in the house. We have specific matter that we are concerned about, and I think we do not have the luxury of time to go back to the classroom. I just want the minister to start to address the specific issue of concern as clearly indicated in the letter, and can end up by explaining all of those. We did not come here to come and learn who does what, how to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes. So, Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, members of the House, it's not a lecture. I was giving a background. So, concerning the Monserrato County specifically, that he said OBGYN is heading the Monserrato County Health Team, because that was in the letter. In Liberia, Monserrato County has the highest maternal mortality. And how do you tackle a county with high maternal mortality if you do not have somebody with the technical know-how, with the skill? The Monserrato County Health Officer, she's an OBGYN, she's a public health physician, she teaches at a medical school. That's the kind of person you need to get that sector. She said in 2020, January when we took over, the maternal mortality in Monserrato was 27. This month, January, in the entire country, we have had 4. She goes to the hospital, she teaches at the various clinics, she trains the midwives, she even participates. Right now, she's even asking that at Dupo Royal Center, we open a theater so she can be performing surgery because she teaches ultrasound, she goes around in the Bureau Hospital and teaches. So she even now advocating for us to have a theater at Monserrato County Health Office on Dupo Road to open a theater so surgery can be performed there, where she will be actively participating. There was a team that came the last time, I will not say which country they came from. Why? And they visited the Bureau County Health Team. They wrote a specific letter that I will show to you to call for administrative oversight that this particular young doctor had from Monserrato and how there's improvement in Monserrato County Health Team since she got to this position. That's the kind of person. In addition,
In
addition, in the letter they
please take note as the witness about the information to us.
I think there will be question and answer. That's one of the about the way you interrupt me.
Ọmọ tí ń sọlá. Ọmọ sọ́kà. Ọmọ sọ́kà. Please continue with the we now need to see any disruption or any injection to the women's land. Please continue with the please go ahead.
The issue raised by the representative that at the EPR there is a specialist. EPR is where you do vaccines, and the specialist that is there is pediatrician. They are training vaccines all the time. So since the pediatrician being there, the vaccination rate increased over 71%. As compared to last year when we didn't have a pediatrician. Also, when we had another colleague that was there who was not a pediatrician, I did not count it all when we were speaking about this. And most of the places I went, it was really on the vaccine boxes. It was really season. When I entered the health facility where they're keeping the vaccines, you will see basically, you will see a reunion of vaccine carriers. Once the vaccine becomes contaminated, if you do not have that know-how, it becomes a virus itself. If you reduce the efficacy of the vaccine, you give in that child polio virus if you give polio vaccine. If you give him measles vaccine and that measles vaccine, it does not have the temperature, the room temperature. That child has measles right away. So the only way you will be able to understand these intricacies except you have the technical know-how. This person who is this doctor, he knows about vaccines, he got the skills of it, he's also an instructor, so who's the best person to place? Before, comparatively with other West African countries, if you go to Ghana, everywhere around the world, you will see these specialists are placed in the various places. They will take their best. After the president appointed me, so the president appoints a technocrat. I'm an OBGYN. I'm also a public health specialist, as well as I have a PhD in tropical medicine. So when the president appoints me, say, I want you to head the health sector. The onus is upon me to bring the best that will be able to advise and be able to implement the agenda of the president as well as that of the country. I know who can make the impact in the health sector because I've been there for years, and I know who I can work along with for us to be able to improve the health sector in Liberia. So that's the reason when it comes to the appointment of the specialist you're talking about. If you go to Ghana, you will see that the EPI is headed by a pediatrician. In fact, recently I went to Malawi, and usually when I travel, I ask my colleague that I need to go and see how they So when I went to Malawi, I asked, and I was going to hospital, who has this?
The women presenting for us, so you can listen, take note, and be prepared to ask questions. So when we do that, people really.
Now the second question from
that people really. That is better.
So whatever speaker probably is the teacher in me. So my apologies for being a teacher. But that's how I am. So the question is both sides.
Are you okay? All right, colleagues. For the festival
that there is an increase in infectious diseases. I beg to differ. Then aside he spoke about HIV and AIDS. So Liberia has one of the lowest HIV and AIDS rates. When it comes to hepatitis B and other infections, yes, there's an increase because of drug users. So that's why it's important that we tackle the drug users and we tackle the drug abuse so we cannot have people sharing needles. So if you look at our statistics in Liberia as compared to around the world, we talk about HIV, we have a lower HIV rate. But when it comes to other infectious diseases, coming to hepatitis B, there indeed is an increase because if you look at our statistics, we are seeing the young population, some of them are becoming infected with hepatitis. But we are doing some work on that, and later on, probably the chief medical officer will be able to speak on how far we go with that. We spoke with the WHO to give us some vaccines because the preventive measure is to vaccinate the population. So I'm taking our next vaccination back. Our vaccine is supposed to come so we can do mass and vaccination once a month.
Thank you so much. So, our colleagues, now the floor is yours to present your question. We start with Omosoka. I think she addressed the issue already. So, Omosoka.
Our speaker, our journalist, distinguished colleagues.
The question is coming to
our minister, thank you for the presentation. Let me go specifically to the issue. The first issue I will raise in the education of minister, and I need some clarity on is that you are assigning specialized doctors, by your deputation, specialized doctors, specialized surgeon into administrative role. Case in point, in your presentation, you spoke about the head of Maserati, and then you explained how the person is knowledgeable in teaching and that. So the direct question is, are you assigning specialized skill set in administrative position? That's one. Could you be specific more when you talk about HIV rate low relative? Can you give some specific data on that in terms of staff? In terms of infectious disease, when you talk about hepatitis B being on the rise, can you please help us to understand specific actions? And you say we are taking action. What are specific action that you are taking to curb the increase in cases? Let me ask my last question now. What is the relationship? My understanding is that you are having a very difficult relationship with MPhil. The executive director of MPhil and you are not getting along. And specifically, MPhil established has certain role in that you are recreating some of the departments that are supposed to be on MPhil. You are recreating those and creating the confusion in the health system. I need some clarity on those questions. Thank you.
Okay. We'll take part question from this side. The witness address it. We'll take part question from this side. The witness address it will come back to the second back to question.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Cabinet Speaker, and fellow colleagues, I want to say to the minister, thank you for the presentation. I think one of the things that brought the promotion on the floor is the issue that was raised by our colleague from Grand Pastor. And following your presentation, I want to ask just this simple question. You have said to us that we have about 500 plus surgeons according to you. Out of the 500 plus surgeons, I think 100 out of the 500 are specialized doctors. My simple question to you is, do we have surgeons as medical heads for all the referral hospitals across the country? That is my simple question to you. Or is there any hospitals in this country that do not have a surgeon as a resident doctor? So thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Madam Minister, I would like to ask you this question. How many specialized titles do you have in the family health division and the Ministry of Health?
Thank you. I will go to and I will come to Obomabido.
Thank you. Minister, when you were making reference to my inquiry raised, you said that you beg to differ. But from the information provided, I don't know how different your explanation was from mine. I did say that the increase of infectious diseases is high in Liberia. Given the population of those of our citizens that are on drugs, you have over 1 million plus of our citizens on drugs. We have 5 million plus citizens. Over 1 million of them are on drugs, and the infectious disease is spreading within that population. How am I wrong? How am I wrong? The issue that we should be discussing is how can we find a remedy? How can we address the issue because it is high? According to statistics around, we are 20% of our population on drugs. It has the potential of going to 42%. We as a government is incumbent upon us that we start to address it because sooner or later, like I stated, we will have a health crisis here that the 500 plus data that you made reference to will not be able to address the issue when it comes to it will all be overwhelmed and it will spread across. But that's my point. And I will ask that you please address it so that all of us will know we are all representatives of the people, you from the executive, we from the legislature, we can address this issue. All of us go back to our district and bring information, provision to our people. That was why I raised that concern.
Thank you, Honorable Joe. Then we allow the witness to address that part of the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Speaker Koli. To our guests, I basically want to ask this question because I came from a district, the Kenyan district, where we have our governor speaker. And usually, patients by home, they always calling us to assist in their medication. And during the sonar, I heard the president, saying that all of our facilities, government facilities around the country, they are all equipped when it comes to drugs. I want you to provide us information and how, proof is that information that the president gave to the nation. Because we are suffering from that as a lawmaker, but our people calling us to help them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The witness, please address the first batch of questions.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, these questions are interesting questions and necessary to be asked. I will start from the last. When the president said there were drugs in all the hospital, that's true indeed. The 4-quarter distribution went, and you can call any of your hospital and find out whether there's drugs. One time I spoke with some representatives, few representatives, they called me, and I was telling them, sometimes when your family member comes to you, just ask them, did you go to the hospital? Did you follow up? Because sometimes people, I don't know the reasons that they come and ask for money, but the drugs are in the hospital. Sometimes. But when you're there, you can just call it, if you think,
you can get the check, please. Let the minister address the question. Continue, please. She's on oath, so you can do the people that. Please continue.
So if I'm speaking, you see what I'm saying is not true. You can don't call the hospital or call anybody on the county health team and say Dr. Koto says this or she said that. It's even to a verification. So indeed, yes, call any hospital if they do not have drugs. If they were not getting drugs, the drug were not distributed for the 4 quarters that it should be distributed.
She's addressing specific questions.
Is the increase Honorable Goswa. I know you're the chair of the drug and substance in the house. And you very enthusiastic about the drug abuse. But the reference you are making that there's increasing HIV, comparatively asking to compare. In Liberia, the HIV rate is low amongst our West African countries. It's 1.5%, sometimes it goes to 1.2, 1.5. In Agricos, comparatively 2.9%. If you go to Nigeria, the percentage is higher as compared to Nigeria. I'm not disputing the fact that there's an increase rise in drugs, and once there's an increase rise in drugs, there will be parallel to the increase in infectious diseases because when people are high, they can have all kinds of maybe inappropriate behavior that may cause them to have infectious diseases. I'm not disputing that. I was just comparing it with our African countries around us. Indeed, yes, you are right. The family health division. Family health division is very critical. Very, very critical. If you look at family health, if you can get your family health division right in any country, the entire health sector is set up. Because they deal with maternal mortality, neonatal mortality, sexual reproductive health. If you go around the world, when they are saying your health sector is doing well, it means that you are doing well with your vaccination, it means that you are doing well with your family health division, which means your maternal mortality has dropped, your infant mortality has dropped. Before we had some doctors heading family health, I will not get the name of the doctor, the period. Maternal mortality in Liberia was 1,000 plus. They dropped it down to 500 something. After we changed the doctors and put non-doctors who did not have the skill, the technical know-how, maternal mortality now gone to 1,000 plus. Anywhere you go for meetings, you as a Liberian when other people are giving the statistics, you become ashamed sometimes. Sierra Leone right next to us, they now gone to 200,000. 200 per 100,000 live births. Now we are still in 1,000 in Liberia. How can we mitigate this? Can we still do things the way we're doing it to get the same result? No. So in family health division, we have the head, who is a reproductive specialist. We have another doctor who is an OBGYN, but he became ill. So he is now unable to go on the table and do surgery, he couldn't do writing. So we have those specialists there. And that's what you need for family health division. If you look at the statistics now, as it relates to before 2023, the maternal mortality is going down. It's actually going down. The services improved. When you go to the delivery room, there's improvement. And I hope this DHIS that is going to come up is going to reflect actually improvement in the health sector as it relates to maternal mortality. The next question is.
And you do a follow-up. Over police, you do a follow-up. Why are we follow? Over follow. Over follow, you can make a follow-up. Make a follow-up. Over follow. Over follow from Great African News.
So the surgeons as medical doctor heading the country was the next question. When you graduate from medical school, you got a license as surgeon and medical doctor. Because the 1 year internship that you have to rotate in all the departments. Then after that, you go 1 year, 3 months in general surgery, 3 months in obstetric surgery, 3 months in internal medicine. So when you are placed in a county, you are there to do surgery. If you have a problem as a medical doctor and you don't feel comfortable with a case, you call your superior. That's why you always should call somebody when you are before you enter the theater. If a new doctor who just graduated is entering the theater and know you do not have that skill, you call Dr. Potter, I'm going in the theater, I'm supposed to do a hysterectomy. Please keep on the phone with me. Please have somebody around. Or what should I do? All doctors are surgeons in Liberia. That's the Liberian law. They are general, they are surgeons. They may not be specialized surgeons, but they train us as surgeons. They train us as surgeons. So yes. The next.
It's all two. So let's I can't we out of the next.
So the next question, infill. Yes, I see. Infill has a lot of people that are very silent, that be calling me, and I was called the last time I was on my way to Lima. So as it relates to infill. MPO, the head of MPO, or MPO falls under the Ministry of Health. There's one sector of it. So when you're the sector head, MPO Director General position is equivalent to a Deputy Minister's position. So in announcing outbreaks, it's the Minister of Health in consultation with the President that gave any announcement for outbreaks. So the MPhil and director has no right. The president has to consent, WHO consent, and then the minister of health announces the outbreak. The issue that I had with the MPhil boss is that he went to announce an outbreak without consultation. Announcing an outbreak has consequences. When you announce an outbreak, there should be a response already in place. MPhil is just like detecting, say you're disease here, oh you're disease, but who reacts to those diseases? It's not the MPhil, it's the Ministry of Health. So the issue was that the MPhil boss went and gave an announcement about an outbreak that he was not supposed to. So when I called and I asked him, there's not a being a prerogative. So the president, because the representative who asked this question is somebody in your office, and they did not consult you, and you heard him say something, the judge went outside and started explaining, oh, my boss may say this one. You were calling to ask why you did that. Did you get my consent? So that's the only thing that transpired between the MPhil boss and myself. That he announced an outbreak which was not his jurisdiction. It's the minister having consultation with the president because it has financial ramifications, it has political ramifications, it has, I mean, you can just name it. It has security ramifications. So all of those has to be taken into consideration before you have an announced. So that's what happened. Besides that, nothing else happened. So whenever speaker, that's all the questions I was asked.
Okay, follow up, please let me succeed. Honourable Minister, thank you for the explanation. I think my specific question is that between your office and the director of this MPhil, we know that MPhil is an autonomous agency, also that has a role to play with you. The act that created MPhil took or spin off certain department for honor you. given to MPhil so that there will be collaboration under the ministry. Took it from under the ministry and gave some of those departments to MPhil. My understanding that I asked you, Madam Minister, that you are still replicating or recreating those departments and you have them under you, does undermine the work of MPhil. Is that true?
Okay, now our question will go to the second part of the question from this side. We'll start with one. Now keep trying.
I wanted to ask your permission because the things I've seen a lot of honorable members say, well, probably maybe we can have lunch later on and come back because my glucose level is dropping.
We can say we sit for one for you. Let's answer a question first now. Over police, please allow us to answer the follow-up question from the Soka. Go ahead.
Concerning duplications of functions. And I think what you're referring to is environmental health. Honorable Representative, the president agenda, the rest agenda, is on sanitation. When we took over the Ministry of Health, the sanitation is Bureau hospitals were appalling. Even in health centers, the clinics, primary health clinics, the sanitation they were extremely poor. The sanitation, very, very poor across the country. There were some hospitals with all incinerators. Incinerators where they put the trash and burn. The placenta pits, places with all placenta pits. And some places when I went to go to my tour, because a lot of people don't know me, I don't like to be in a loud life. So I will go to hospitals and they don't know me or to clinics. You will see when we talk over the vaccines, they will check out the vaccines, they shut all around. One specific hospital I went to, the rap was kind of competing with me while I was working. So, what people have to do, you reach to it now, you ask questions. Yeah. So when I will wait, the environmental health, I call you one.
Go ahead, bro.
Yes.
You okay? Please allow me to answer the follow-up question. Okay, please have your seat. Honorable police, hello. Honorable police.
They continue to distract the
witness.
Stop that man by last of witness.
Honorable police.
Distract the witness.
Honorable police, I appeal to you. You understand the minister. There's a health issue.
Yeah.
We are free to research we have water or some tools to. Okay, thank you so much.
So, I'm sorry. I'm just a teacher and I cannot divorce myself from being a teacher. So the thing is, for you to understand the question that you have, you have to have a background. The environmental health unit was removed, quote unquote, from the Ministry of Health. And when it was removed from the Ministry of Health, the act of the Ministry of Health was not altered. MPhil went and they did what they could have done and they moved the environmental health portion. The act of the Ministry of Health remains the same. It did not change. When I called because the person, the pro-general of that act was the former Director General of MPhil. When I called, I had to call and ask. I asked around, but how can we go in hospitals? The Ministry of Health, the entire hospital burning. Who's responsible? They say, oh, you know environmental people, they eat MPhil. No, but the act does not change. So who responsible for the placenta pit? Who is responsible for the incinerator? So we have to reorganize our environmental people to go in the burial hospitals and start cleaning the hospitals. Is that wrong? Is that wrong for you to go and say, there's this group here, you people, they are already on payroll. I hope you know all the environmental people, they are on the Ministry of Health payroll. So reorganize them to go and ensure placenta pits being built. We reorganize them for incinerator to go around. Is that wrong? Is that a work of infill? To clean the hospital? So when you clean the hospital, you don't have environmental specialists. That's the reason. So what am I doing wrong there?
Thank you, Minister. Now I take a second half of the question. We start with OPC.
Deputy Speaker, my fellow colleagues, to the witness, I have two specific questions. I'd like to know from you in this public manner as to whether from the rural health facilities or the rural hospitals I authorize to ask the patient to provide fuel for the ambulance to commute to the referral hospital before services are provided to that patient. I'd like to know as to whether it is a policy or it is being authorized by your institution that patient is required to provide fuel when needed. That's one. Two, I also want to know as to whether it is authorized that the doctors, the nurses in the hospitals should be selling drugs on their own to the patients. Because I have experienced that I have bought drugs for patients in the environment at the hospital, and I also provide fuel. I'm saying just I'd like to know as to what it is a policy program. These are the two questions I'm going to take.
I'm not going to ask you 8 questions from here.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the Spirit Police, whenever small hospital is all right, so
you have a day. It takes time. You're not going to
all right, so yeah, thanks for the opportunity for holding the people of different number 3 going to counter the opportunity to make their point of view. I have questions to the witness. And my question is tailored for the science of healthcare. But before I ask my question, I have some disappointments. Let me say to the witness that our presentation, I don't know about the other people, but the people are taking over things. Very disappointed. Profession is the devil. Career is the progression in that work. And job is the position in that progression. The witness was supposed to that she's here as the Minister of Health. And we are not talking about professional careers. We don't care about it. So when the question are asked, they are asked on the basis of the people who sent us there to represent. And therefore, we need a question. We need an answer to the question
directly so as to make people to understand what they're hearing. Now, to my question, the 3 questions that I have to ask that I said from the three. I hope you are aware that I'm not speaking here as Senator Jala, but I'm speaking here as district number 3, 55,000 persons. Now, question number 1, Madam Minister. Are you aware or do you know about the TM level? That is traditional refuge. That was something that I encountered in my district. And I want to know whether you are aware of them. If yes, what is the relationship with people and the ministry? Number 2, when you make mention of the supply of drugs, I only want to refer what you say about hospitals. What about the clinics? And if you tell me that the clinics themselves are benefiting, that you mentioned the hospital, I will provide something for you that will tell you that. I just left from Swan District where there are 5 clinics. Although 5 clinics are still right now, so to say that there are drugs in abundance in your clinic, I want to hear that from you directly. The next thing, what is the state being taken to tackle the issue of healthcare quality? Thank you for your opportunity.
Member please, Omofeka. Member please, Omofeka. Then Chief Scholar.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. To the Minister, my question is, listening to you saying there was a place for budget and I listen to you talking about supply to the Liberia Hospital and Health Center and clinic. So I want to know, do we have a tracking mentor put in place that will supply the clinic? How long the medication needs to last? Because for me, just last week, I had an encounter with few of my clinics. And the pregnant women was even complaining that they don't want to come to the hospital because even folic acid and paracetamol, they don't get it, they will get this shit to go and go and buy out. So you even want to say you can go there and check on you. Because for me, I have a question more. So I want to know if these supplies that when we had a crisis, I even used to eat up these to send the supplies to my clinic. So I want to know if we have a tracking method, when was the clinic supply there, and how can we measure it? How long after the intake, the patient intake, how long the medication supposed to last? Thank you.
Omofeka. Next Chief Scholar.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I have a big concern about this. I am from Rankin Market, inside the district number 3. Tewa district is included in my district, and Tewa district is one of the largest districts in Rankin County with low population. And there is no health center in that district. They only have a little clinic that cannot even accommodate the population easily and it's then the surrounding villages, towns are added. So every day, pregnant women are going to attend the clinic. And they go there for delivery. When they go there for delivery, all of them cannot deliver by themselves. They have complications. Some of them have complications. We don't have no budget for that district. We don't have no ambulance there. If the pregnant woman has complications and cannot deliver by themselves, they be given back to their family to take them to the referral center.
And when they get to the referral center, they have to provide blood. They have to provide the medication if it's not available for the procedure. And so, in that process of gathering all those things, sometimes the person loses their life. And not only terror, but even in Papa, they got some towns like Bamala, Kono. Before getting them to the referral center, sometimes they lose their life because they don't even have ambulance to work. Many times when I'm there, I provide my car to be used as ambulance to take the patient. I don't know whether you are aware of that. There's so many deaths that are going on in Grand County with delivery. Those are the causes. I want you to check on that and let's find a solution. Thank you.
I want to comment made by the minister with regard to the issue of the Public Health Institute and that of the Ministry of Health. I stand to be corrected. One of the deputy minister who is legally inclined is here. Every legislation that is passed in the legislature, there is always a word at the bottom of that legislation. Any law standing to the contrary is not withstanding. And also in something called the theory of recency, means that the more recent law that was passed would now control or overpower the old law. So if those functions are created clearly in the Public Health Institute Act, and you still duplicating them, Madam Minister, I think you are duplicating the function of the Public Health Institute. That's the first correction I want to make. Now, proceeding to the point I want to raise. There are several points I want to raise here. Madam Minister, starting with the issue of the Assistant Minister for Vital Statistics. Madam Minister, are you there? Please take note. Starting with the Assistant Minister for Vital Statistics. They have come to our attention that the Assistant Minister for Vital Statistics is the one that is currently signing the health certificate. And I think that is totally wrong. It is the responsibility of the principal director of birth certificate that should sign the certificate, but not the Deputy Minister for Vital Statistics. Besides, I also want to bring to the attention of this plenary that people, doctors, like they say, specialized doctors have been brought to Monrovia when there is no doctors in those hospitals, and they are not only brought to Monrovia, but they are brought to Monrovia performing administrative functions. Let me name you a few distinguished colleagues. The former CHO of Bond County is currently the coordinator in the family health division. The former CHO of Bond County, Dr. Bablo, is a medical doctor, but she has been brought to Monrovia and she's performing currently an administrative function in the Department of Family Health Division. When her place, she was assigned no medical doctor to help the sons and daughters of Bond County. Former Magidi CHO, Dr. Cecilia Jackson, is currently coordinator in the health performance-based finance department. When she served as she's a medical doctor, the librarian government pay her DSA at the druggati, and she was paid to go to school after learning. She has returned to serve the librarian people. Unfortunately for us, she is not performing the role she was sent for, but rather she is now being called as an administrator. I also want to bring to the attention of this plenary that volunteers were not put on payroll. When retirement came, people were being the day replacement. And it is to our attention that those received or the replacement were not people who were on the voluntary payroll or on the voluntary list, but are people that were just brought in now, thereby leaving the volunteers. In my mind, I think if there are people who have been retired for people to get the payroll, those who have made sufficient sacrifices for this country in the name of volunteers and no pay for them at the time, I think we need to capture them this time around. But to leave them and bring new people, I think is a total disservice. I also want to bring to the attention of this floor that the mental health directors should be in the hospital. The current mental health director is a medical doctor, Dr. Zaya or Zaya, whoever, I don't really too good. He was assigned as JFK. As you see currently, he is now performing the role of an administrator as mental health director for the Ministry of Health, and no one, in my mind, seems to be corrected to replace him in his capacity as a mental health doctor. We understand that the issue of mental health is a serious issue to this country, and we need not to overemphasize. I want to call on the Ministry of Health team. They may not agree with me yet, but my appeal to them is to ensure that these corrections are made, that our people, our rural hospitals can have enough doctors. The last 2 points before I take my seat, Mr. Speaker, and distinguished colleagues. Another issue is the issue that has to do with the supply chain. Hello? The issue that has to do with the supply chain team. The entire supply chain team and some employees of the Ministry of Health that have been replaced are currently sitting home taking taxpayer money. The entire supply chain team, take for instance, if the supply chain team had, for instance, 5 employees, and they sitting home to stay on government payroll, and additional 5 has been brought on the payroll in similar position, it means for that position we are paying what? 10%. And many of those people are listed to you. Some of them, they are sitting home, they have been replaced officially in terms of functions and capacity, but they are not replaced on the payroll. Additional people have been added on the payroll. So, Mr. Speaker, our deputy distinguished colleagues, I stand here before taking my seat to say to you, I don't want history to record me negatively. Let us be able to ensure that these things come to a permanent end. Thank you so much.
The minister to be at chapter 5 persons. Then we come back for 3-3, and then we'll get back on the go ahead to make the way forward.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Honorable Representatives, let me start from the last. I'm happy you asked a question about supply chain. You know, sometimes I'm a pastor's daughter. And my father used to say, the Bible says, lack of knowledge, my people perish. And there's also is not aware of is that almost the entire supply chain, the Ministry of Justice sent police to arrest them. They went with handcuffs, they closed the gate. Whatever correct. Some things not to be said in the public. They locked the Justice Administration police officers, they locked the front gate of the Ministry of Health, and they locked the back gate of the Ministry of Health. Before you enter, you have to show your ID card. They had a list of people to be arrested. And they arrested these people we are talking about, and caught some of them, and took them out of the Ministry of Health. Because in the previous government, there were drugs basic from USAID, from the CNS, the NDS. And these people were indicted, and they were handcuffed and taken out of the Ministry of Health. How can we run a supply chain? So the law of Liberia is you will be getting 50% of your salary while the investigation goes on. And the one has been done. So they are not being investigated by LACC, and other people are not acting in their positions. The information I am not getting, and these people are getting full pay. That is not to my knowledge. Which will have to do investigation with the human resource department to find unit to follow why they are getting full pay, why they were invited. So for my knowledge of what should be done and what they were instructed to do, that all the invitees should have 50% of their salary until they go to court, and whether they are proven guilty or not, then the CSA can take the course what should be done for public officials. So that's it. With the investigation is ongoing with those people. So you are not interpreted into. So sometimes things happen in the Ministry of Health. I don't come outside to explain to the public. So
the next question.
The next question about the clinic in Cape Mount.
Dr. Cecilia.
So they selected that.
You want to follow up? Are you making a follow up? Okay, go ahead and get that.
You brought Dr. Cynthia Bramble from Bon County, former CSO of Barovia to perform administrative role when they have made a doctor that should be assigned to the hospital. When these hospitals are in doctors who do not
Okay, I'll respond. She's addressing the question.
I can speak now. So, the questions from me was not deliberate. My apologies. So, when it comes to the two doctors you spoke about, they were in previous administrative roles. For the past government, the 6 years Dr. Barker was in Bomi County as a county health officer, it was an administrative role. And Dr. Cynthia was in, I think, Cape Mount.
Should we continue the same mistake the poor man?
But it's not a mistake.
When they answer the question, the committee will handle all other things. Please allow the witness to address the question. Please continue.
I'm calling you on the doctor you are talking about. No, I don't want. Dr. Zia is one of the funniest doctors. We have 10 mental health specialists. And most of these mental health specialists are trained by doctors. I do not see comparative as compared to Dr. Zia in teaching. The last time Dr. Zia appeared here, and even Honorable Goswa, he knows Dr. Zia's skills.
Observation.
He knows the policy writing skills of Dr. Zia. It's the funniest I've ever seen.
From needed for the consumption of nuclear will originate from the committee. The Sadia to critique the ministers detailed information that required to give relevant will not be getting. I will suggest that those the people they say you see information that you're going to recognize people for them, you please do that for them to come out with a way forward. I beg you, Buzani. Thank you. Please continue.
So, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and Honorable Boss, Dr. Zia is talking about is one of the funniest. I've never seen a young man so educated. When you gave him policy documents to write as a relates to mental health, and Honorable Goswa can speak to that. There is nobody in history, there is nobody compared to that. Yeah, to take that position. He's an instructor. Some people they just text you and they may not know the qualification of the person or the skills of that person. Dr. Zia, nobody can be compared to him for that position. He has taught a lot of mental health clinicians in this country. He's a young man that I want for him to meet and see how we can be able to elevate him in this country as it relates to mental health. Because of the skills that he has brought, currently we have secured 50 acres of land for mental health home. We have started the construction of a neuropsychiatric hospital because of the young men who cannot rest. Sometimes I usually laugh at him and say, but you take mental health to be the only kind of disease in this country. Everywhere he goes, he expresses himself. This is somebody that we should promote, Dr. Zia. Maybe you should get to know Dr. Zia. Dr. Zia is the finest of finest. Yes. When it comes to clinic in Cape Mount, one of the representatives has the Blue Water Side Clinic. And it's a health center. I think it's closer to TNN. So referrals from that hospital should be able to Blue Water Side. But if we have to look into it to see, because we know there's distances into hospital, so we have to look at your area to see the fact that there needs to be a hospital or a health center erected, or whether that clinic needs to become a health center. That's how we need to look. So from here, I'll discuss the
Okay, the next question.
And now,
answer the questions you can get first.
TPS, the traditional practitioners. Somebody asked that question, one of the representatives. Yes. During my introduction, I told you that I'm OBGYN. An obstetrician and a gynecologist. The first thing I look at is traditional practitioners. And one of my deputy ministers usually tell me that if Dr. Koto had money, she would just move everything fast. We are now having a plan to train traditional practitioners. We're trying to see because they link to the hospitals. Without the traditional practitioners, we cannot survive. Because they are the first people that people go to, they are the ones they have trust in, and they are the ones that we talk to bring the patients to the hospital. So what we have done at the ministry now, we have bought, and I don't want to tell you what we have done for them. That would be, I don't like to disclose before it happens, but we have a package for the traditional practitioners, and that would be released soon. This question is, Honorable Speaker, Speaker, the ambulance issue. I think it was in a letter. I thought this was going to be the first question. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker. When it comes to ambulances, the question I was asked by the representative was why we have payment. The question I was asked, why people pay for ambulances, and why they pay for fuel. That's a brilliant question. You know, for an ambulance to be very functional, you have to have government money, and then you have to have private ambulances. You have to have donor helping you for the ambulance to be very functional. The healthcare, you know, as we all know, in the budget, there is no specific money to say this money here for the ambulances to have fuel. I always like to bring, when I went on my county tour, I learned from a particular county named Awolako. When I was doing my public health in medical school, they taught us a concept. It's called the collaboration with community as it relates to ambulance. I only read that concept, but one of the counties I went to, it was actualized in that place. What was done? Because let's just take Belfast County for instance. The county health team, I think they received like 200,000 for the entire year. There's about 35, I think, health facilities. I think 25 may be government. But you know, as the government, we have responsibility for the private health facilities. You get $200,000 for 25 health facilities for the entire year. The Pastor County Grand Pastor Hospital runs on 25 gallons of fuel per month. How much for 1 gallon of fuel? I think per day, 25 gallons of fuel per day. The hospital. And then 1 gallon of fuel, I think it's $4.21. And you got 200,000 for that whole year. So just multiply how many fuel you use per month if that generator was running, which means 9,000 plus fuel you use for that month. When you multiply that money, at the end of the month, you're supposed to have $38,000 plus dollars for fuel alone. So from your 200,000 that you are getting, and you're not getting 200,000 at once, you will get it in allocation. So you take out $38,000 for your hospital to run because you have surgeries that you have to do. The balance money, you got 25 your facility that money has to go to make rounds to. Then you have to take off fuel for the ambulances. And the ambulances need maintenance. Because ambulances and the roads, you know the road network. The road network challenge so as they go and they're coming back, they will have maintenance problem. You have to repair. What these county health officers have done and what I've noticed and seen is something that is in the book. The community, when I went to one of the counties, the community, what they did, I am not justifying because ambulances, if a government has money, healthcare should be free. You have insurance, everybody it covers the healthcare. I went to a community and I met, when I usually go to the community, I can ask to meet the community members. And I asked the community members, I said, how is this place? And the town chief said, Doc, let me tell you what we do here. We get a cash box. And in that cash box, they brought two cash, told the OIC, bring the cash boxes outside for me. They brought the two cash boxes. He said that one is for ambulance fuel, and this one here is for the hospital if there is no drug. He said all the people, the business people in the town, every now and then when they get something, they kind of put it in their box. When somebody comes to the hospital, or pregnant woman, or anybody comes to the hospital, they put in this box some money. And that money is for the ambulance fuel. If there is a need, the hospital doesn't have money, they use this money in this box. there are 2 lots. My first time read seeing it. And 1 lot is there for the town chief or whoever they designate in our community. And 1 lot is for the OIC. Nobody opens the box except there is a problem. The town chief comes to OIC, open it, you always have to for the ambulances. And that is encouraged. Now, if a hospital doesn't have money for fuel, and a patient can afford to pay for the fuel, it's almost like cost sharing. The indigent that is unable to pay for the fuel, the county health officer will make sure somewhere they will keep small money. But I will not to get on to come to Monrovia. If she's coming from Green Castle, she has to be spread to the hospital. So sometimes you will hear that, oh, maybe they charge this person. I'm from a district number 1 in district number 2 Castle. I have my family members there. Now, if my family member are supposed to be on the ambulance, it's very prudent for them to come and say, oh, woman, we want to come over, we need 4 or 6 gallons. Because for relative or his relative can be able to afford, so the cost sharing now, the indigent that doesn't have no way out, there's some money saved somewhere so that indigent can come to the hospital. But it's a cost sharing method. For you to be able to have fully free ambulances around the country, the government has to give, the donors also can give, but sometimes it's not for money. They have their own priorities. So that's the answer I have for the ambulances. So now it's in our purview that next time we'll put it in for budget allocation. Now the House of Representatives know that they can just have a specific line. Say we put in this amount, let's say $1 million for ambulance fee. And then that $1 million is there. Anytime, if the 63 ambulances are in the country, whenever they are about to move, it will be available. Whenever there is maintenance on ambulances, the money will be available. But sometimes they are constrained, that is what happens.
Thank you, Minister. First of all, Minister, we learned that you're not working with the committee. You need to establish the further working relationship with the committee. And it is because of this thing that whole friction caused the long deliberation today. And after this deliberation, we urge to please work with the committee because the House is not the committee. So please, wait for Margaret Thomas. Wait for. Or you cannot solve the problem here. Margaret Thomas, wait for. Margaret Thomas, wait for, please. You cannot just tell me here today. Start the essence you have for me. That's the committee on address the issue. The committee will address the issue. Please.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and fellow colleagues, I know the issue of health in our country is a major discussion point. And whenever we have Minister of Health in January, we want to take more than 5 days to have discussion. But that's a recap. There were a few issues that we discussed here. And I will pick them up. One of them is the issue with the ambulance, the challenge we have with the ambulance. We talk about the addition of their wives. We also talk about the equipment and supplies to hospitals, especially in the CSO. We talk about other support to the county health team and also the issue that has to do with the functionality of infield and also the Ministry of Health. And then we talk about patients being transferred from one hospital to a referral hospital and there are cost implications. So with all of that, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I want to move, Mr. Speaker, that move, Mr. Speaker, that this matter is transferred to the Committee on Health. So the ad hoc Committee on Health to take cease on the matter that will be under obligation to move on health and that a comprehensive report be submitted by the Minister of Health to the Committee for Review. Investigation should be done and a report should be made to us in a period of 2 weeks. If I can obtain a second.
Thank you for the movement. The motion made and seconded. Are you all ready to vote? All right, Bobo Ali, Atoré.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding. To the movement, I will be ready to vote if the committee can consider my points and questions I'm about to proffer. My DB County District of 3, to be precise, was used as a case study when it comes to the reduction of mental Thank you very much. Considering District number 3, my DB County was used as a case study after we conducted a survey when it comes to the maternal mortality rate reduction. We started the Be Better Bags program, and people did not understand why we were doing that. It's to enhance the effort of the government. Under our law, 2 certified doctors will have to confirm that a pregnancy is at risk before an abortion can go on. Considering the rape victims that do get pregnant, how do they go to the facilities being prepared to have the Be Better Bags before they give birth? Because of lack of those things, they give birth in the communities, increasing the death rate and the maternal mortality rate that we are all fighting. I will be ready to vote if the committee can take into consideration the plan from the executive branch to come in when it comes to those who cannot afford going to the hospital to give birth due to the prerequisites that are outlined. And I will also say when it comes to the drugs distribution, somebody asked that question. I know NDS have asked them before. We need the statistics when it comes to the distribution or the distribution of drugs in those countries because some of them are inconsequential. So we need to know the quantity of what is provided. I will hope that the committee can take into consideration those skills.
So accept. Observe the flow.
I know you're responsible. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, colleagues, I will vote considering the gravity of the matter and that the witnesses inadequately address the issue. That the witnesses be remain on an oath and placed on a contempt charge to the committee. With their full report, because it's clear that this minister and the team have refused to recognize the
He was in error when he was stating the
something else possible. And also the issue of contempt charge is far beyond our discussion. Therefore, I respectfully reject.
I will defer to my very important thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
I will be ready to go to the movement that the following can be done. One, that the minister do a written apology to this plenary that will be read in open section. Two, that people that have been those specialized doctors return to duty of work. And three, those people that have been assigned to their positions but are not yet movement. Are you there? Movement. I'm saying yeah.
Continue, please.
Yeah, to the movement. A written letter of apology to this man now to be read in the open section of the minister's statement to disclose the lack of knowledge by people's perish. Two, that those are specialized doctors that have been recalled from the various counties and placed on administrative role in Monrovia be returned. And lastly, that those that were people have been assigned but have not been reassigned, that stay home taking pay, such as the former mental health director, Dr. John, former family health director, the physician assistant, dental, and others that are currently sitting home, including the former chief pharmacist, John Harris, on the payroll, being assigned with immediate effect. Thank you.
So there are two issues raised, which are categorical as 1, 2, and 3. The first one, which has to do with the minister officially writing a letter of apology or an implementation to follow the minister officially accepting that she was in error and she took it back. She actually apologized. So we will humbly reject that. And the last thing we raised as those are issues and factors that the committee will get seized on, and it will form a important part of the investigation. And of course, our report will outline and show Thank you.
All of the are you all right to vote? All those in favor, those against, abstain. The yes carry, motion is carried. Number 2, that we act accordingly and discharge our witnesses. Our witnesses are discharged.
And I've been here at the Monrovia City Hall, bringing a live section from the House of the 55th Representative. And that section It's been hosted here at the Monrovia City. However, the Speaker of the 55th House of Legislators, Representatives, Honorable Regina Mekong, presiding on today's section, and the Minister of Health was invited here today. We see the presence of the Chief Whip of the legislature. She's here in attendance today after so many months of being absent due to illness. However, the Honorable House are now going for executive, so we will now call this a closure. Thank you so much wherever you join our live broadcast. My name is Yasa Suga. I have been here providing insights on the section here. However, we'll stick a little bit before we put this audio.
Honorable Richard Nameson, Speaker, House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Reference. Request for the return of plenary to the regular chambers of the Capitol building for the conduct of legislative business. Dear Mr. Speaker, Article 49 of the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia provides that the legislative power of the Republic shall be vested in the legislature of Liberia, which shall consist of two separate chambers. The Senate and the House of Representatives, both of which must pass on all legislation. The act style shall be code of law. This is acted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia, the legislature and the Senate. Moreover, Article 32 provides that the legislature shall assemble in regular session once a year on the second working Monday in January. In view of the aforementioned provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, coupled with the resolution of the crisis of the legislature, as we currently have one unified House of Representatives under the power of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker as first amongst equals. The House declares the appropriation of plenary for the return of our regular session at the House Chamber at the Capitol building, which is the official seat of the legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Meanwhile, given the nature of the situation, I have no doubt that this communication will be paid attention as we continue to serve our people as every day. Best regards to say Honorable Michael F. Thomas, Esquire, Representative of the District of Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Ladies and Gentlemen, that was a reading of the communication from the Honorable
I'm going with the communication pop of our colleagues. What is the way of pleasure? Number Johnson William. I see what you're going on.
Honourable Speaker, Honourable Deputy Speaker, colleagues, having listened to the communication proper by the Honourable Gentleman, Honourable Marcus Thomas, I think the communication, the intent of the communication makes a lot of sense, and I would want to move in a second that the communication be noted, be accepted, and our rules order be instructed to ensure that plenary relocate no later than the second Tuesday in March 2025.
The motion, I was covered and seconded. Are you all ready to vote? All those people say yea, against, abstain. The year carried. Someone keep clapping like a committee. Next.
Rachel Namweko, Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, the Kennedy Legislature, Subject: addressing the deportation plan by President Donald Trump and Liberia's preparedness. Dear Honorable Speaker, I have the honor to present and to bring to the attention of India over the recent deportation plan announced by the President Donald Trump, which aims to deport nearly 2,000 Liberians residing in the country. This plan has significant implications for our fellow citizens and requires immediate attention and action from our Honorable Speaker, as you may be
looking at the damage of such communication, we have exhausted most of our activities today looking at our opportunity. Can we please describe a serious communication for Tuesday? And for the first issue, the gentleman, a very serious communication. And a very powerful communication. Okay, thank you very much. Please go to Tuesday, first thing on the agenda. Next. Next. Keep that. You read it for us.
Announcement regarding the itinerary of the fallen poet, Honorable William Scopado, who served in this body the 52nd legislature on Wednesday, February 5, 2025 at 10 a.m. The book of condolence will be signed at the Capitol for Honorable Scopado. On Thursday, February 6, 2025 at 10 a.m. the removal of the remains from the funeral home brought to the Capitol at 12 noon, where he will be received. Thursday, February 6, 2025, there will be no section in honor of the fallen poet.
No, that is the issue of our section. The issue of our section in this case will be the City Corporation Thursday. The book of the day will open on tomorrow to be here and let the executive speak up. So we'll be able to concentrate on our African trade in Morocco. So please, section will not be here on Thursday because this will be occupied to be used by the City Corporation. So this prevailing situation, please, we understand that we go back to our main chamber as per the motion offered by Joseph William, the second Tuesday in March. So let's please accept this. So we will instruct the motion how to do the report to make sure to prepare our chamber for the second Tuesday in March. So the announcement as it relates to the book of condolence, the cabinet speaker will accompany will be leading a group of delegation from the House of the go inside the book of condolence tomorrow for our fallen colleagues. We are all encouraged to be there and please be on time.
Is that compulsory we go to the second Tuesday and this is before?
But the motion was carried, was voted upon, it was accepted.
It can be done before, but it can be
Okay. Let them move and do the job, and prepare to take the whole time. Next. Okay, Mr. Leader, please, we're about to name most of the committee, the overall committee here, and the chair and co-chair. So they want to complete the few committee so that the work will be done effectively. The committee on health. We wanted to name you first before giving the assignment, but looking for you, we are about to give you so that the communication can go to the committee on health to do the work that we saw being deliberated by the Minister of Health. So I go ahead. Committee Executive. We got a chair and co-chair ready. So I should lean over? Okay. Committee on Executive. Seku Kane Chair. Prince Eto Co-Chair. Mary Johnson Member. Austin Cholo Member. Obadiah Augustine B. Cholo Member. Obadiah Takpakpak Vani Member. Sam P. Jab Member. Member Priest Benza Member. Committee on Foreign Affairs. Neke Ige Chair. Austin B. Taylor Co-Chair. Ase Barry Member. Rookie Barry. Yatu Rookie Barry Member. Johnson S. and Williams Senior Member. Margaret M. Thomas Member. Jeremiah Soka Senior Member. Committee on Judiciary. Chair. Simon G. Koga Chair. Co-Chair. Jarvis Banks. Member. Nyanji Flobo. Member. Margaret M. Thomas. Member. Foyoni Family. Member. James M. Colin. Member. Jerry Yoko. Committee on Ways, Means and Finance. That committee has been fully established. But just to go over that, we got the chair, representing the people of Maryland County, P. Nigeria, co-chair revenue, representing the people of Nima County, Dawn Glike, co-chair on expenditure, representing the people of Boston County, Michael M. Thomas, member, representing the people of Grand Bassa County, Jarvis Banks, member, representing the people of Bond County, Fuller B. Formula, member, representing the people of Great Cook County, Nathan N. Bawe, member, representing the people of Great Gia County, Mary Johnson, member, representing the people of Riverside County, Stephen Pikwa, member, representing the people of Great Cape County, Mohamed Josie, member, representing the people of Bapolu County, Mustafa Warrington, member, representing the people of Sano County, Samson Kwijuwia, member, representing the people of Magiri County, Abake June, member, representing the people of Lofa County, Julie Avia, member, representing the people of Bombay County, Sam Pija, member, representing the people of River G County, John S. Williams Sr. Committee on Rules and Order, Chair, James N. Colette, Co-Chair, Alexander Paul, member, Co-Chair Alexander Paul, member, DC Sony, President Sony Feka, member, Nathaniel Bawe, member, Minor Bishop Johnson, member of Mustafa Warrington, member of Rama M. Wompa. Committee on Public Works, Committee on Public Accounts and Expenditure, Chair of Clarence Gar, Co-Chair of Prince K. Quina, Secretary of Seku Kane, member Jeremiah Soka, member Prince Eto, member Robert M. Womba, member Kisi Collins, member Bishop Mane, member of Osana G. Koga. Committee on Gender, Equity, Child Development, and Civil Social Services. Chairperson, Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams Sr., Co-Chair, Honorable Mary Johnson, Member, Honorable Augustine B. Cholo, Member, Honorable Yanji Promo, Member, Honorable Yatu Ruki Barre, Member, Honorable Gisi Bese Sumi Feka, Member, Honorable Member Brice Mensa. Committee on Peace, Religious, and Reconciliation. Chairpersons, Honorable Ellie Aton Rare from Makidi County, Co-Chair, Honorable Anthony F. Willett from Maryland County, Member from River County, Anthony B. Tobe, War, Member from Great Boston County, Honorable Clarence Banks, Member, Representative for Grand Cape County, Honorable Mohammed Dozie, Member, Representative for Grand Julia County, Honorable Jacob Dini, Member, Representative for Lopa County, Honorable Augustine B. Cholo, Member, Representative for River G County, Honorable Alice G. Grant, Member, Representative for Grand Crew County, Honorable Nathan N. Bowen Sr., Member, Representative for Nima County, Honorable Samuel N. Brown Sr., Member, Representative for Sino County, Honorable Thomas Romeo Kuya, Member, Representative for Bomi County, Honorable Sensi Jala, Member, Representative for Babaru County, Honorable Lucas Collins, Member, Representative people of Maserati County, Honorable Sumo Bonga, Member, Representative people of Bond County, Honorable Fode Formula. Committee on Investment and Concession.
Which committee is that?
The first Committee of Reconciliation, Legislative Accounting. There are two communications we have. Committee on Investment and Concession. Chair, Honorable E. Formula, Co-Chair, Honorable Abba K. June, Member, Honorable Romeo T. Kuya, Member, Honorable Mohammed Dozie, Member, Honorable Doan Giga, Member, Honorable Austin B. Taylor, Member, Obadiah Akbar Valley. Committee on Health. Chair, Honorable Julie F. Ria, Co-Chair, Honorable Austin B. Taylor, Member, Honorable Samson Kwijiwia, Member, Honorable Mary Johnson, Member, Honorable Isaac Barney, Member, Honorable Sam P. Jala, Member, Honorable Samuel Enos. Committee on Youth and Sport. Chair, Honorable Stephen Tikwa, Co-Chair, Honorable Mohammed Dozie. Member, Honorable Dixon Brahmi Sibo, Member, Honorable Emmanuel Dan, Member, Honorable Robert T. Kuya, Member, Honorable Clarence Ga, Member, Honorable Priscilla A. Kopo. Committee on Mines, Natural Resources and Environment. Chairperson, Jeremiah Soka, Chair, Co-Chair, Alice J. Grant. Member, Anthony F. Williams, Member, Prince K. Kwena, Member, Mohammed Dozie, Member, Ernest M. Benzie Sr., Member, Honorable Neket Gay. Committee on Hydrocarbon. Chairperson, Sam P. Jala, Chair, Co-Chair, Honorable Mustafa Warranty. Member, Honorable Ernest B. Benzie Sr., Member, Honorable Dixie Blawi Sibo, Member, Honorable Isaac Barney, Member, Honorable Sumo K. Malva, Member, Honorable Siafa Koto. Committee on National Security. Chair, Honorable Gizi Collins, Co-Chair, Honorable Minor Bishop Johnson. Member Homo Clarence Banks, Member Homo C.S. Miana, Member Homo Buka Kamara, Member Homo Joseph Tibi, Member Homo Roland O.P. Kopo, Committee on Public Works and Rural Development, Chair Homo Ernest K. Menzies Sr., Co-Chair Homo Robert F. Womba, Member Homo Austin B. Taylor, Member Homo Isaac B. Jonathan Wall, Member Homo Samson Kwiji Wia, Member Homo Alex J. Grant, Member Homo Momo Sava Koto, Committee on Education and Public Administration, Chair Homo Nyanji Flomo, Co-Chair Homo Emmanuel Ya, Member Alfred Flomo, Member Bernard B. Johnson, Bernard B. Benson, Member Homo Murmur Priest Benza, Member Homo Samuel Enos, Member Ellen Arthur Rare. We continue the next committee on Tuesday, the standing committee. Thank you very much. Motion for adjournment.
So folks, we'd like to bring this broadcast to an end. Thank you so much wherever you join us. however join us from. My name is Yasa Suba. I've been here providing this live coverage. But shortly, we'll bring you an exclusive interview here from the Monrovia City Hall bus. Kindly stay tuned. Don't you go away. We will be right back to you.